Welcome, everyone, to the second session zero for our upcoming versus role playing game actual play. We are back this week with another character creation video, this time with the talented Mr. Nolan Terry Shambley. Nolan, what do you want to tell the folks at home about yourself?
Well, I'm Nolan. Nice to meet you all. I am a massive nerd. Um, I like to work out a bunch. I run a lot, yoga. As you know, I'm obsessed with jujitsu.
You've been loving that recently. Yeah,
Yep. I play in a pop punk band called the Second After.
really good. Check them out.
I'm really stoked because shows are about to happen very soon.
Yeah.
Um, I've been playing tabletop games for a massive chunk of my life. I really actually have only played D&D 3.5 though, so I will say that. But what I think we're at over 300 hours in Roll 20 for VS system in our campaign right now,
Yep.
and definitely hands down the best time I think I've ever had playing a tabletop game. So
That's awesome. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, definitely. We've been playing verses for I think we're coming up on the 2 year mark for one consecutive campaign, which has been a blast, and we are starting another one. I'm super excited.
me too.
Well, that's awesome. Glad to have you here. I appreciate you making time, and I'm looking forward to getting into it and making your character for the upcoming campaign.
Yeah, I'm really stoked on the my character idea for this. I really wanted to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. So we've talked about it some, and I'm really excited to see this character pan out some.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait to see it hit the page. We've chatted a little bit about it, but for the people at home, what is your high concept going into this character creation? Do you have an idea of what the types of things that you want to be good at, or types of things that you want to have to struggle with? You can be defined by your strengths or your weaknesses.
Yes. So I like to draw my ideas a lot of the times from like specific things. Um, Also, just to be clear, my go-to character is normally like a dual wielding Dex rogue. That's like my favorite thing to build. So
As the
yeah,
first thing you built in the versus
yeah,
system, and he had a truly cinematic death.
yep. So for this character again, I wanted to challenge myself. I was reading Dane Dangerous Liaisons a little bit ago. It is a French book. It's about French nobility right before the French Revolution, and
Cool.
I'm honestly just a little bit obsessed with that time period. So I wanted to make a uh, rich uh, noble, and then even more so, I wanted a like specific like context of romance.
Nice. I think that's going to be really fun to see play out. Um, that's sweet. Um, you seem like you have a pretty solid idea of what we're making, so I think we can jump right in and start plugging in some attributes.
Cool.
If people have not seen our previous video, we go over a little bit more specifics on the point values and that sort of thing, balance of characters and the rules. We're just going to jump right in. We both know the system well enough, and we can knock this out. So, what kind of attributes are you think about investing in, Nolan?
So I for sure again I want to make this a purely social character. So I do know already that I would like a D10 in Guile. I want to make sure anything Guile related is getting handled. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to carry you far.
yeah. So I was contemplating taking agility or strength down to a D4 to really try to pull some points. Because, yeah,
Yeah, that's those are some risky D4s to have. But I think that would be awesome. I don't think I've ever in all of my years of developing this game had a character with a D4 agility. It's just so scary because that's what you use to dodge and attack. So that would be really committing to the social play style. I think that'd be really cool. But if we want to start moving on to skills and attributes, and then skills and traits, and then revisit attributes at the end to see if you need the extra points, I think that's a good way to do it.
Cool. I do also for sure, he's a noble, well off. I for sure want him to have a D8 in intelligence. He's a
Right,
pretty smart guy.
keen.
Yep.
Knows how to set himself up for success.
Yep. Skills. I've for sure want every single social like guile skill there is.
All right.
I've seen.
Every tool in the book.
Yeah, I have, I've played enough of this game to realize that you really, especially if what you're doing is running your mouth, you need to you really do, I think, need to have every single one of them.
That's fair. That's fair. So it's gonna be deception,
Persuasion.
charm, and intuition. Those are the four. Every skill can be used with every attribute, but those four are almost always going to be used with the guile attribute, um, and vice versa. So it's definitely a good thing to invest in. Nice. Do you want to plug like a one into all of those? We can visit traits, see how many points we have left at the end of the day. Or do
Sure.
you have yeah, if you have more
We'll
decided
start.
values.
We'll start with one.
Looking good so far. Definitely a an absolute powerhouse when it comes to conversation. Um, what kind of you mentioned that you wanted to be a noble and fairly wealthy. So that's going to be a reputation trait and a wealth and resources trait. Did you pick out the level that you kind of wanted to invest in already?
Yes. I for sure want, I believe, I want wealthy. It is expensive,
Yeah, 5
but
points is big.
um I I want my own money.
Yeah,
Yep. I don't want to ask anyone for it and I don't want to work for it. Plus,
absolutely.
I really am attracted to the house, the what is it? It's like a passive
It's a passive
in.
income.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I really want to just like not worry about money. Already have a, he's a noble.
yeah.
He's good to go.
So what multiplier of starting resources is wealthy? Is it times 10?
I think it's times 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would start out with 2 grand in the bank when most people would start with, one or 200. And you would also get a weekly income of 100 silver, in addition to a
Sweet.
property and some other assets. I'm sure you would have people in your employ and, not talented or trained individuals, but at least messengers, butlers, ground staff. Um, so yeah, it is 5 points, but it gets you a whole bundle. It's a whole lifestyle. It's not just a sack of gold right at the start of the game. So I think that's a worthwhile investment.
Yep. And then I want what? Prestige, because that is the noble trait.
Absolutely, this is something that I think people don't think about a lot. Um, But if you're a noble in a medieval feudal system, and you stroll into some poor hamlet, um, you can basically just command anyone around you to do what you want. You just have the social class to do that, which is an incredible amount of power. Because if another player character tries to waltz into a village and order everyone around, they're getting thrown out on their ass. Um, so yeah, that's a heavy hitting reputation trait. Three points. That's gonna give you a lot of sway in almost every circle of society.
Yep, already up to 21 points.
Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna have to dial a few things back, but we have the idea here, right? We have
Yes.
the concept. Actual.
Yep.
Sweet. So speaking of 21 points, what are some things that you could do to maybe try to recoup a couple? You were thinking of maybe dropping an attribute earlier, or if there's any negative traits that you were
Yes.
interested in using
So
those as well.
I really wanted to, as I said, I want this character to have a little bit of a focus on like romance and just general debauchery.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe a negative trait. I really want him to be hedonistic. So I really want, this guy is forever seeking the next form of pleasure.
That's cool. I like that. Hedonistic isn't a trait that I have written, but I think it's adjacent to some that I do. Um, is it kind of like a like an addiction? Like you are like constantly seeking out new experiences and new like indulgences and living to the excess at all times? Or is it more like a compulsion, just something like, if there's a chocolate fountain, you're dipping your finger in, and if you shouldn't, then you're gonna have to roll to see if you can't. What kind of level of hedonism were you thinking of committing
Um, I want him to be like pretty much addicted to it. I very much want you know, his drive to be seeking pleasure,
to? Always looking for the next thing. I
always
like it.
looking for the next thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you have to go camping for a week and you have to live on the bare minimum, no chocolate fountains or anything like that, that's gonna piss you off.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be bad.
you're gonna be at like a small negative for basically everything you do.
Cool.
So that's gonna be the addicted trait. But we can reflavor it hedonistic, and the thing that you're addicted to is just gonna be excess, new experiences, um, and that sort of thing. And I feel like although that's a little less concrete than a specific substance, I definitely think that you're capable of role playing it, and I'm capable of moderating when it's applicable.
Yeah,
So
I think it'll almost be like in a way like even cooler than a single thing because
yep.
it allows me to like just put myself into any spot instead of like a single spot, which I kind of like that.
Yes. I mean, it's double-edged sword. You can
Yeah,
you can get
yeah,
your fix in a lot of different ways, but also you can be tempted by a lot of different things.
exactly, which is good
It's gonna
because
it's gonna be it makes the trade very interesting.
hopefully I'll be able to talk my way in or out of it.
Hopefully,
And what is that's a -2, correct?
that is a -2 trait. Yes.
Cool. I kind of like I've played a handful of characters in this system now. I've played ones that are very pigeonholed by their traits and ones that are not pigeonholed at all. And I honestly really like to force myself into things. I think it's very fun. Yeah. Also, you are hands down the most relentlessly ruthless uh, GM for making sure things come back to haunt you and that you pay for traits. So, um, for just the fun of all of it, I'm always arch enemy is one of my favorite traits. It's that heavy -3, and I got to get rid of some points.
That is a dangerous one. You made a classic dashing, chivalrous knight who had an arch enemy, and he eventually did die to that arch enemy. Not
Yep.
directly, but indirectly. So you know the type of danger that you're dancing with here, and if you want to take that on again, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. I think. I mean, because to. I want more points.
That
It's
is
as simple as that. I'm sorry. It's as simple as that. I need points. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, yes, you do need points. Do you have an arch enemy in mind? Like, is it a political rival, a disgruntled family member? What angle are you trying to play with that
Well,
trait?
I would like to, stick to the high concept and pretty much everything I'm doing, I want to try to like guide towards romance in some way, shape, or form.
I like it.
Um, so I was thinking maybe some sort of like relationship gone wrong.
Cool.
Yep.
I could see that. I could see that. Scorned lover. That's
Yep.
a very compelling enemy.
Yeah. Always works. Um,
Absolutely.
and I actually wanted it to be. I had the idea of maybe like I was in a relationship with another guy
Hmm.
and fellow noble man, and um, somebody probably outed us somehow, and the whatever environment we were in does not look too kindly on us. So
That's complex. I love that. That's honestly super well thought out. I like that a lot. The world of Nell isn't quite as prejudiced as historic Europe was, but there is definitely still a stigma in some circles. Especially certain religious communities that could be devastating to someone if they were outed as homosexual. So I think that's yeah, that I could take that idea and run with it. That's awesome.
cool. Yeah, I like the idea of because I honestly don't know yet if if this character is going to be like good or bad.
There's
Um,
no alignment chart to make things easy, so
exactly. I like to leave that sort of thing up to the decisions I have to make with the things you present me with, and I think it's more fun that way.
absolutely.
But I do believe people start out good, so I would like my idea was to maybe have like our relationship was only like good intentions, and it was like a actually like wonderful relationship, and we were only happy, and it was like ideal, and like just the choice. We were in love legitimately, probably maybe even the first time for both of us, like legit in love. And it went wrong not because of me, but now it was because of everything that happened to him. He like he just holds it against me that hard, even though
Mm,
I went into it with the best intentions.
that's awesome. I love that. That's so good. I could yes. That's so great because it's you have an arch enemy, but not because you killed someone's sister, or both of you got into it with the best intentions, and the system, the circumstances are what turned you into the catalyst for this person's downfall or destruction, and you know uh, naturally they blame you for it and want revenge. Um, Considering this is not just an enemy, and you can change it to an enemy if you want it to be not this severe. This is an arch enemy. They are willing to kill you over the things that you have done to them, which means their fall from grace has to be truly devastating. Um, but that is, I think, something that could be, arranged if, if that's the way that you imagine it playing
Um, I, I, I'm a fan, especially in like in I think in the game we're about to play. I like the idea of high stakes. I think the stakes make things more fun. It makes the decisions, it makes everything a little bit more powerful.
100%. That's honestly what that's actually one of the principles that the whole system was built on. So
Yeah.
I'm never gonna encourage you to do something in half. Go all the
Yep.
way. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So arch enemy is -3.
yes, sir. And you have this brooding ex-lover who lost his family, reputation, job, everything because of a fling with your character. And yeah, is not the type of person who's willing to forgive.
Sweet.
I love it. You're getting
Right.
uh
Plus,
so deep.
one of my favorite things about that book is like the drama of all of it, you know? So I don't even already as I like pick traits with the like high stakes, it's like you can the I can already feel the like romance drama in the air.
Absolutely.
A
Yeah.
little bit of threat of death. Mm,
Yep. That's what makes it real. You
yeah.
never know who you're gonna bump into at this bar, and it's gonna be really good or really bad. You don't know
Right.
which. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, Super cool stuff so far. So you only have 1 point left to drop. So you could pick up another negative trait, or you could drop one of your primary skills.
I really like. I think almost by the nature of arch enemy, my name is a little besmirched because of not only did he get outed, I got outed too.
Right, of
And
course.
yes.
That is perfectly reasonable. I probably should have thought about that. Besmirched is -1, so it'd round out your points perfectly. And so it would basically say you aren't in the capital anymore, right? You are in Brugge, where the campaign is taking place. But if you
Yeah.
run into some old acquaintances from the capital or ever travel back there, you might have a less than sterling reputation among.
And he's a little bit, you know, hedonistic, and
Absolutely.
word gets around a
Yeah,
little bit.
for sure. If you're throwing lavish parties with 200 people there, those 200 people aren't going to be quiet about the types of things that go
Yep.
on.
I love the idea of like, if someone is attracted to me, um, I have to roll a d6, and if I fail, I have to flirt with them, no matter what.
No matter if it's appropriate or not.
Yep, just like
Um,
regardless of the circumstance.
Flirtatious is a -1 trait. It says if you are speaking with someone you are attracted to, you must roll a discipline of 5 or higher. So a 5 or 6 on a d6 in order to not flirt with them.
And then def 100% want. I think there's a trait in there, right? Attractive.
Okay,
Gotta
cool.
get attractive. I'll use the -1 for this flirtatious to take that.
That makes perfect sense.
And that is
You
what
you
if
have
you're
been saying since your high concept is that it's going to be a romance based character. Attractive lets you roll a higher uh, die when you are charming people who are attracted to you. So that's going to let you roll a d12 plus your charm. So if you're going to be getting yourselves into all of these situations because you have to because of your traits, you may as well handle them with.
but I also like I don't want to fight at all.
Yeah.
At all. I don't want to fight. I should never have to fight. I'm too rich and I can talk my way out of it. I shouldn't have to fight. There's no need for this
In a perfect world,
whatsoever.
you should be able to buy
Uh,
yourself out of every
I do live in a perfect world,
problem.
a pleasure-ridden
Hmm.
utopia of my making.
That's true.
So
It's true.
I really want some more points. I'm gonna high risk it, and I think I'm gonna take the agility down to a
Agility.
D4.
Damn. If you're gonna be sneaking around at all, or dancing, those are things that you could benefit from having agility. If you're gonna be binge drinking and keeping your head, or being poisoned, or
Think I'm gonna take a D4 in strength. I mean, by the way you describe them, I mean, this guy would naturally be better at the dancing and I think that makes more sense. He's not going to be tough. Why would
yeah,
he ever be tough?
yeah, it's true.
Slightly quick on his, not like quick on his feet, but
Average.
yeah. I think that makes a lot more sense. Um, so I will put the D4 in strength.
Cool. That you're just a hedonistic lightweight, a perfect combination.
Smart enough to know my drinking limit. That's what that D8's for.
One can hope. One can hope. Well, you have 3 points to spend. What skills do you want to put them in? Do you want to pick up any non-social skills like stealth or writing?
I do really think I want perception
Cool.
because that's just one that if
Never
you've
hurts to have.
yeah, it's like a spot or Liz, and in your system, we have to know the skill to gain XP in it.
Yeah.
So that is one that I deem worthy enough to have.
You're gonna use it often enough that
Ex-
you're gonna naturally increase. Yeah.
exactly. I think I'm gonna put one in intuition
Cool.
because I don't know, I just like the idea of knowing things. Like
Intuition is amazing.
you can't decide to charm, lie or persuade unless you know what's going on. And I think the awareness of everything is probably in a way more important. So I want to make sure I know what's going on around me.
Sweet. So now that you're balanced out, we can jump into finishing touches. That's going to be your location knowledge and your hobby skill. Any ideas for those?
Well, I really the origin trait for the capital is just literally, I mean, it feels like you made it for this character. So I mean, plus the capital is, wealthy,
Yes.
and there's a lot of nobles.
It makes perfect sense for you to
Um,
be there, have
it's
gotten a little burned, flee
yeah,
south into the much less prestigious um, Bruga hideout for a little bit. It does make perfect sense with your backstory. So
and
I
Bruga is Bruga's a part of the capital, right?
it is part of the Decane Empire.
Cool.
Absolutely, yeah. It is
Yeah.
a duchy.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. And
The
the origin trait that you were
capital.
mentioning is +1 to intuition and +3 to etiquette, which is a secondary skill that
Oh,
lets you know
wow.
the right thing to call someone, proper title, and recognizing some like sigils and flags.
So in that case, I technically that bumps that up to a 3.
It does.
Forgot about that. And I think I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit, and I'm gonna put another one in persuasion.
Not to persuade you, but a counterpoint here. If you think about the economy of experience to points, it takes 2 experience to get a +1 to a +2. It takes 3 experience to get a +2 to a +3, and so on. So spreading out is a good strategy to start off. If those first couple sessions are going to be challenging, you want those +1s. But you have points to spend here. They ignore experience. It is just a +1, 2, or 3, or 4. So if you start with a +4 in something, you're going to have that day one, and it's not going to take you the 7 or 8 sessions that it could take to build up from a +2.
I
Just
kind of like
making a counterpoint.
it though.
Yeah.
I really like it. Just go. I mean, it not only that, but everything we've said so far about the high concept and guiding this in a way. I mean, I think it only makes sense. Cool. Hobby. I think because of the inspiration for this character, I think I want to do writing for his hobby.
Like writing?
Writing, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah,
Um,
that's cool. Because
the
riding a
whole
horse is a primary, but
um, the book, if you have not read it, is literally in letter form.
it's
Like
epistolary fiction. That's awesome.
the entire book is written in letters, and like that's because that's how people communicated in that time
Yeah,
period.
that's awesome.
So it only makes sense that that a noble would know how to be just as convincing in pen uh, as he is, you know.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and with your intelligence and your writing, you might be able to concoct some charming sonnets as well.
Yep.
You never know. Um, well, super. It says you're at 17 points, but we know that those 2 points are from your origin trait, which is free. So we are all balanced out there. Do you want to jump down to the information and inventory section and knock that out really quick?
Cool. Let's see.
So you're going to start
Um,
with 2,000 silver in liquid wealth. So that's not shabby.
That's a nice number.
Yeah, not too bad.
I'm okay with that.
And then you also get as part of your wealthy trait, you also get a home or location. Do you have an idea of like where you would like to live, what type of house it is, or it doesn't have to be a house if it's another like business or something that is responsible for your income?
Yeah, I have thought about this, and I really want to. I think it's just really cool. I want to own a bathhouse.
That is awesome. That is perfect for your character. And that's sweet. Um, do you want that to be located in Brugge, where the game is going to take place, or do you want that to be located in the capital, where you'll have a slightly more besmirched reputation, but it is where you're from?
Um, I would like it in Brugge.
Cool. I think that's good. You're
Yep.
going to be able to use it as a base of operations
Yep.
right from the
And
start.
I want my hands on my money.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else that you want to start the game with, like that you want to spend money on from the start, or do you just assume that with your liquid wealth you can pretty much just like obtain
Yeah,
anything that you need in game?
I figured I would, like I don't need anything. Clothes,
Yeah,
fine clothes.
you have nice clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
you're
have
fine.
all the clothes. I have food. I have a house.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
maintained.
yeah,
Anything I want, I can buy.
yeah. You're in
So
a
if I
city where you can
yeah,
buy stuff. Yeah, you'll be
I'm
fine.
good. Um, I think I don't need anything.
Fantastic. Your speed is 3. Your mastery is +4. Your you have 3 acquaintances. So
What? For
those are,
real?
yeah, D10 guile gives you 3
That's
acquaintances. So
crazy.
you have a lot of old friends, nobles from the capital that you can introduce.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
I
anytime.
actually
One per session, but still.
I didn't know I was gonna have this many, but I did know I was gonna have one. I had an idea if I thought maybe one of mine could be my like street savvy butler slash
Mmm.
like secretary.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Helps you manage your bathhouse. Has the much needed streetwise for you to fit in.
Yep.
Yes, that is definitely something we can cook up. As a general idea, do you have an idea of the type of thing that he wants?
I think he wants uh love. And I think love for him is like a because he seeks pleasure so much and knows what pleasure is, he very much is aware of the spectrum and the worth it can or cannot have.
Yeah, the limitations of hedonism. So maybe he's
Yeah.
looking for something more.
Yeah, I think he wants something. I think he wants something real, but also that fulfills his hedonism. But also, it in a super cocky way. Of course, he's almost looking to like he's looking for his match, like
Yeah,
somebody like him who's just as like like
he can also go to 100%
yep,
and yeah, exactly.
somebody who
Won't
can go
shy
to
away.
100% and who's also wealthy and strong but capable of love and yeah.
That's awesome. I love that aspiration. It's not political, it's not monetary. It is so much more than that. It'll be really fun to see. Well, I can't wait. This is it is a special opportunity to have a character who is so focused on certain primary skills that they don't even get distracted with combat or magic. Like that's a pure build right there. So I cannot wait to see this guy absolutely just topple social situations and all the trouble that he's undoubtedly going to get himself into.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great time.
I cannot wait. The last thing that you need, my friend, is a name.
Sebastian Delmont.
Delmont. Is this a reference that I don't get? I like the
Yes.
name.
Yeah. So the main character in that book, Dangerous Liaisons, is Sebastian Valmont.
Okay, okay, nice,
So
nice.
yeah.
I think that's far enough where we won't get copyright claimed, but definitely pays homage to the inspiration for such an amazing
Yes.
character. So I like it. Sebastian Delmont, fantastic. A strong imperial name if I've ever heard one.
Yep.
Well, super man. This one we knocked this out of the park. Cannot wait to see him in action, and really appreciate you coming on and talking us through the process. I appreciate all the work that you put into this character on and off of camera. I could really tell that you were prepared and ready to knock this thing out. So um, yeah, I cannot wait for session one and see how Sebastian does his thing.
Yeah, and dude, you hear it from us all the time in the D&D chat, but thank you for being a wonderful DM and a wonderful creator, and hands down, probably the best dungeon master I've ever seen.
Thank you so
Your
much.
knack for storytelling and not only shows in our games, but the fact that you have made this. So I think that alone should speak for itself. I'm really excited for people to get to see you and what you do so well.
I I cannot thank you enough. Those are incredibly kind words, and I hope so too. I'm really hoping this all comes to fruition, and we get to see. I've got the best role players I know, and I'm just doing what I love, and I think it is going to be awesome. So I cannot wait for session one, and cannot wait to play games with you later. I
Right?
mean,
I
we
was
got our
like,
other campaign
literally,
too.
let's be honest right
Yeah.
now. We're about to be late for our VS game.
Yep. One
Yeah.
campaign just isn't enough sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm incredibly excited, and thank you so much again for everything. Um,
Thank you.
we will yeah, we'll hear from you shortly with from session one. We'll get right into it. It is coming up. Thanks everyone for
Dope.
tuning in.